request Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar, Chief Coordinating Officer, AICTE, to share his thoughts on policy innovation and employability, the changing face of education for transformation. A huge round of applause for the special guest of this evening.
Good morning all. On behalf of Ministry of Education, I welcome all of you for this APAC Transforming Education and Skilling Summit. And what a wonderful day for our country, because now we all started working together as a team India. Because till now we all are, as an individuals, Indians are best of the best. No doubt about it. That's the reason if you see most of the company CEOs, CTOs, vice presidents, or a software engineers, or an architects, we are there and we are ruling the world as an individual. But as a team, right, I think because of our old education policy created an individual best of the best. But the new education policy, which is going to create a teams, so I see and I thank APAC News, for this wonderful Team India event, which is going to transform the education and skilling fraternity, because it's a need of the hour. As you all know, that in last 8 years, we have received more than $850 billion as an investments and highest FDIs in the world. If you see the last 3 years, we are the highest FDIs received country in the entire world. We even crossed China. So we are in a path of transforming our country from a developing nation to a developed nation. And that's where I see such kind of events is very, very important, which can create a team India so that we all can work together and transform our country as a developed nation. And when I say developed nation, sabka sa sabka, because that's what Honorable Prime Minister Ji always says. I used to think what it really means. It really means if we can provide a high quality equal education to a person living in a small remote village and a tribal area. That's called Sabka Sa Sabka Vikas. So that's what the new educational and skilling policies is trying to empower. And I'm happy to be here on this wonderful event. And this event is basically about the technology. As I'm a technologist more than a babu. I'm not a babu, I'm a technologist. So I always see that technology plays a major role, on this educational and skilling. So when I was doing my MBA in Maryland University, one side of the university we have classes, other side we have industries. So when I joined Ministry of Education, I started thinking, why don't we have similar kind of a structure? This is nothing but academy and industry collaboration, right? Because how come a student go out of the campus when they are inside the campus and doing their education? Is there any way we can have the industries within our campuses? I think we need to open up the door. We need to open up our thought process. We need to be very flexible enough to understand the industry needs and invite them within our campuses. And with help of the technology, sometimes maybe the entire company may not come to you. Example, I will tell you what we did recently. One of the experiment what we are doing as of now is, there is a company in Germany. They are building one of the biggest aeroplane. So they have the engine physically there. So what we are doing, we created a digital twin of that engine and started giving that digital twin to our students. So they are fine-tuning the digital twin and they are remodeling the wiring of that particular engine virtually and resubmitting that data back to the scientists working on that engine physically in Germany. And we did this experiment and the result was mind-blowing. The scientist was amazed the kind of a knowledge repository our students has, and they are like 3rd year, 4th year students. And they have created much more secured wiring for that engine. That's the power of Indian students. All they need is a direction and your help. That's it. I think this is the missing. And as you see, as the investments are pouring in, millions of job opportunities are going to get created, but who is going to work on it? Because see, the example if you take, China recently invested into Pakistan, right? And what the Pakistan said, we don't have any skilled resources. Then Chinese said, okay, no problem, we will give you the resources. So the investments is Chinese, the resources are Chinese. And they slowly started Pakistan, right? So that's a kind of a scenarios if you don't have your skilled workers. I think we need to have a skilled workers in all the areas, whether it's a civil engineering or a mechanical engineering or a CAs or a doctors or nurses. I think we need to produce millions. So in order to do that, skilling, upskilling, reskilling is very, very important. So who is going to play a major role? Because see, the student is always like a monkey, So I was also a monkey when I was a student, because our thought flows super fast, and every 7 seconds the thought changes. So it's very difficult to tame them and train them. So the universities and institutes play a major role in this. And such kind of events, where they need to attend, they need to understand what is happening in the industry, what is happening in the educational fraternity, and why the real-time experience of working on real-time projects are very important. Because I'm sure you all agree, and I also agree that when I did my diploma in engineering, what projects we submitted? It's all worth of 500 rupees. In the coffee shop, we used to print it and submit it, right? I think we are getting rid of all this kind of processes. We are giving them internship opportunities. Now slowly we are giving them employment opportunities, apprenticeship opportunities. So that what happens, the student who is going to go out of the college, they will get a knowledge, they will become a professional. From a student to a professional when they are in college, and by the time they go out of the college, we want them to do minimum 3 to 4 real-time projects, so that they will go out of the college as a professional. Either they can work for someone, or they will become an entrepreneur, or they can do their own startup. And I appreciate the Unstop and all others who is doing, and I always encourage them, because I think what I see is, let us occupy this world not only on the knowledge capital or a skill capital, but an entrepreneur capital, so that what happens, they will generate more employment for our country, our GDP will increase, our overall economy will increase. Example, yesterday I was with Salesforce. There's a lot of partners from Salesforce, and of course Coursera is also there. So basically when I'm talking with them, I invited them, one of them asked me, what is the advantage? I said, don't please see this only from education point of view. Imagine you empowered one student, it means you empowered one family. And imagine the student is from a small remote village, you empowered that village, and he will guide 10 more students. So that entire village will get empowered, and financially they will empower, economically they will empower, educationally they will empower, skill based they will empower. And if that fellow will become a startup or an entrepreneur, he will do that startup in his own village. One of the biggest company, recently, we had tie up with one company called Chancellor. I hope you all know that, they basically, it's a cloud-based security systems, they block all these kind of hacking things. It's a wonderful company, and it's a NASDAQ top 100 company, and we are very proud. The owner of the company, the owner and major stakeholder is Indian. He born and brought up in a small remote village in Himachal Pradesh. So what is happening? Now he started his company, one of the major branch, that the back office is Himachal Pradesh. So imagine now we have 7 lakh startups in our country. So imagine all this started, putting their shops in this 7 lakh various villages, and as well as in the tribal areas. That's called Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. I think this is the missing piece in our country. We are only giving an opportunity to a higher class, or people live in a village. I think we need to penetrate through to the villages, to the tribal areas. At the same time, I see that lot of institutes, there is a mental block in our minds. I think mental block is that we only do everything within our campus. But imagine out of your campus boundary, there are a lot of small remote villages, slums. Start educating them, understand their problems and try to solve it. Then see the beauty. The way they will come towards you, and you can create so many patents out of it, because India is a kind of an environment where you get all possible problems, and you have a capability, knowledge and skill to solve it. So why don't we solve it and patent it and take it to the global level? Example, this D2N, their company, they have a wonderful product. I was just discussing the same. So now we are trying to take them to a global level, because their product is not only worth of a customer base in India, they have a customer base across the world. I think now it's a part of a role of a government of India to take them forward to the global level. So there is an initiative called NEET, where we are working very hard and trying to push it. This kind of edutech companies to the next level, to the global level, so that they will become unicorns on the global level. At the same time, when Indian company grows, what they do normally, they recruit a fellow Indian, right? So this way, we all can move together. That is called Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. I mean, when I joined, I'm younger to all of you. I see that, but sometimes I always think, what is this Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas? This is what Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. Taking everyone together. So I request you please go out of your campus. You reach the nearest slums, nearest villages, understand their problem, solve it, and immediately patent it. And implement this solution across the globe. Trust me, these are the best of the best use cases what we will get in our country. And dream about reducing 5 to 10% unemployment in our country. That changes the entire face. Recently, there is an article in newspaper, if you see 4 days back, I think, they said 14 to 20 crores came out of the poverty line. I think, that's a wonderful news, right? Because they are slowly moving out of the poverty line, means, they are coming to a maybe below middle class, which is fine. Slowly we need to move them from a below middle class to a middle class, then maybe to a richer section, right? So this is what we need to create, and the major role in this development is innovation, research, and incubation. I think we need to open our colleges as a incubation and knowledge hubs, as a research hubs, not as an individual isolated educational institutes, because those models are gone. I think now the profitable model for any educational institution is to convert their education institute towards as a research oriented and innovation oriented. I will give you best example. We created something called Kapila and something called various innovation platforms where the student, the faculty and institute, all three can come together, create a startup, and that startup can be funded by the government of India, and major stakeholder is you. So what happens, imagine you are getting a return of investment of 10%, by utilizing this current scenario of admissions and teaching. So now you have the same student creating a startup for you, and he will have some 20% stake, and the faculty who is going to mentor them, they will have 20% stake, and anyways you have an infrastructure ready. You will give that infrastructure to the student and faculty, and you will have 40% stake in the company. So imagine you have 100 such startups. 2 startups become unicorns. Do you know what is the return of investment? Is more than 500%. And what is your investment? Base investment is 0 because you are already invested. So the same institute what you already have, you will just pass it on to them, saying that early morning, Saturdays, Sundays, you are welcome to use these premises. And if a customer is coming for that student startup, let them see your beautiful 10 acres campus and say that this is my office, right? Because you are the major stakeholder, you will invite them, you will have an industry relationship. Not only for this startup, you can have n number of businesses out of it. I think we need to change the model what we have as of now, existing model, and invite the companies to put up a shop inside our campuses. So that what happens is the student will get a real-time internship opportunity, real-time project opportunity, and the companies will recruit that student because they are having an experience, they are living with them, they are traveling with them for 3 to 4 years. I think this kind of a models is what we need to create. So at the same time, what we as a Ministry of Education is doing is like we are taking help of the advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, business intelligence, and we started creating, we are creating a deep learning tools. Recently we created a generative AI where the student can question anything and it creates a solution with the video and audio as well as the image based solutions. So let's say I am interested to learn about gravitational force. The professor simply said this is what gravitational force in a scientific manner. But as a student, I want to understand practically. So I can question, we have created a generative AI models where the student can simply say, can I have a model of example for a gravitational force with practical approach. It will create a video for the student on fly. I think we as a Government of India, Ministry of Education, now we become a more technological company, MNC, and we are working on a very large learning models. We have created our own custom large learning models, and we are capturing the future of the student. We are trying to understand he wants to become a researcher, he wants to work for someone, or he is interested in incubation, or he is interested in research, or maybe someone crazy like me who is interested on DIY. Because I'm a technologist and MBA, but I try to understand how to create a goal. I mean, it's all learning, right? Learning different approaches, different segmentations. So that different businesses, how the stock market. I have nothing to do with stock, but I'm an investor. I just invest and keep quiet. And I will pray God saying that let that company don't do it so that I will make some money. But I try to understand what it is, how it works. I think so these kind of models is what we are creating and trying to give it back to the students as well as to the faculty, so that we all can grow together. At the same time, along with the student development programs, we are doing a lot of faculty development programs, because we see the faculty is the center of this entire educational universe. They are like a sun, they need to disseminate the knowledge. So we started giving lot of faculty development programs, and I'm happy to share that we have trained more than 5 lakh plus faculty in emerging technologies. Because why emerging technologies? Because the future is in emerging technology. By the way, we have created a small robot called Ping. Ping means Pinkali, the scientist who created ones and zeros, So that ones and zeros basically transformed as a computer in this entire digital world. So that great seer, the scientist from India who created this. So we have created a small artificial intelligence deep learning system which traveled all the GDPs of the world and infrastructural requirement of every country. And we have identified 56 emerging technologies / services / products. And we started training these 56 emerging technologies, services, products to the students and faculty for free of cost. So if you go to Google and simply say AICTE space 1 crore, because we want to create 1 crore professionals. So you will see a wonderful portal from artificial intelligence to water management, you name it, from chemical industries, manufacturing industries, aerospace industries, everything is defined there, and we have collaborated more than 200 MNCs and big companies to train the students and faculty for free of cost. At the same time, when they are learning, we are trying to understand their learning patterns. What is that they want to become? Some may be looking for a job opportunity, some wants to do a PhD in that particular topic, or some wants to become a researcher in that. So we are trying to understand all these patterns, and we are dicing and slicing the data using the advanced technologies and taking it forward. At the same time, along with the education, the skilling is very, very important. So the skilling side, what we are doing is, we have created so many platforms for skilling, reskilling and upskilling. And we understood that, skilling is not only for the students who is in the college. Imagine a person, is a bike mechanic. Because of some financial reasons, personal reasons, he dropped out from the school or college. And he's doing a car mechanic. And now, is there any chance we can educate them? So again, we have created a couple of initiatives to get them on board. It's called vocational training, right? Because if you take I will give an example. Once we had, I think that's my second or third meeting. So I joined, and Honorable Prime Minister is taking a meeting and on the educational skill. One of the very top secretary of Government of India, he stood and he said, "Sir, I'm the topper in my class. If you go to IIT Kharagpur, it's still in the golden words, my name is written. I'm electrical and electronics engineer." And one day there is a problem with his fan in his house. And wife is always wife, right? Wife said, "Oh, you are a gold medalist. You please repair this fan." He said, "See, I'm a gold medalist. I know how the electron flows from one place to another place, but sorry, I can't repair." Then they called an electrician. that fellow is very busy because nowadays skilled workers are very busy, and so he sent his 8 years or 12 years old kid to repair. He came and he repaired it in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So this is a fundamental difference between education and skill. So now what happened? The wife is always tries to pull, said, "Beta, ruko." That poor chap, he got scared. He said, "No, madam, मैंने कुछ चोरी नहीं किया, madam. I asked for 200 rupees. Just give me 100 rupees. I will go." She said, "No, beta, where you learned this?" He said, "I don't know. All I know is my father is doing it. I am looking into it." And slowly he said, "Okay, there is a small problems. This is called capacitor. This is called this. ऐसा आप कर लो ताकि उसका." So he became a skilled worker. So there is a fundamental difference between these two. I think what is happening in our country, people are coming out of the degrees. They have degrees, they don't have the practical approach, and they are not skilled and they are not employed. This is where we are creating unemployment. I think this is where the Ministry of Education is focusing, and we are very fortunate to have our Dharmendra Pradhanji as a Minister for Education as well as Minister for Skill and Entrepreneurship. So we are trying to create a union of all this and trying to upskill the students when they are in the colleges and creating lot of incubation center of excellences and inviting the industries to come into the college. And recently we started sending students and faculty to the industries. And recently we sent a couple of them in Bangalore, and they're so happy because practically they start visualizing everything, and now they have a relationship between the industry and these colleges, and they started interacting, they started proposing solutions theoretically, and they started understanding how to implement it from the industry experts. So this kind of a upskilling activities is what we are doing. I think 40 crore Indians, the learners I call them, not a students or a faculty, the learners needs to be skilled, upskilled and reskilled. I think in this I see that I request every institute, every edutech company, let us all contribute together. And then Ministry of Education, we are very open. We are very the very fortunate thing that the National Education Policy 2020 is agile in nature. What it really means is that we are open and flexible. Let's say you have one of the best idea, so we have an opportunity to adopt. I'm just taking example because I know D12 product. I have looked into it. Extraordinary product. Let's say they have a product which meets the global standards. So now this product can be adoptable in various places. So now there is an initiative called Study in India, where the foreign students coming to India for study. So there is an opportunity window for them where we can have this kind of a global, product. So I think this is the way we need to take it forward, and Nonstop has a very extraordinary platform on assessment. So I think they are filling the gap on assessing a student. And there is another product, I forgot the name, I just checked here, but they also have a wonderful product on helping the student for the taking interviews. And by the way, we are also creating a generative AI product which we are releasing in next 2 months. What happens is the student can say that these are my skills and I'm interested to work, for example, Google and Microsoft. It basically gives you the entire evolution. It will ask you few more questions and it generates so much of material, and it basically goes out and trying to travel all the information available on the internet, and it gives more additional valuation information, and at the end it gives you the level. In order to become an employer in Google, this is a standard you need, but this is where you are, this is what you need to do, these are the step-by-step approach. I think the kind of a learning patterns are changing, and the Ministry of Education understood this very well, and we want to implement all these with both advanced technologies and 21st century technologies which are employable in nature. So this is where we stand, and I thank all of you for giving this opportunity. So as I said, let's all work together. And we are open, and please, contact us. And I'm here for some time. If you have any questions or queries, happy to help. And anyone, any question or any suggestion, or sometimes you may feel that people are not doing good. We understand, because life is a continuous improvement process. I think we have that capability of accepting our mistakes, and we are ready to fine tune ourselves and also take it forward. But one thing, what our honorable Prime Minister as well as the Honorable Minister said, you give the best of the best to the student, faculty and the institute and the edutech companies, and then expect the best of the best. We are ready to give best of the best, and let us all together create a best country and a capital, knowledge capital of the world and the skill capital of the world. Thank you very much and namaste.
Thanks, Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar. I think the big round of applause after your speech tells it all that how engaging and kind of opinions and statistics you have shared with us in terms of what the AICTE is doing and the Minister of Education as a whole is doing in terms of bridging the gap of employable skilled force, especially who are coming out of the higher education institutions and are they ready for the, if I may say, market. You talked about you have taken a mission of digital skilling of 1 crore people. I was just going through my internet, talking about AI, big data, everything. It all together, we're talking about a market size of more than $1,000 billion by next 3-4 years. That's huge. So that's an opportunity for all of us. And again, if we have to achieve that, I think all of us have to come together. Be education institutes, government, industry, startups, all have to come together. And I am sure that kind of environment, that kind of ecosystem has been created now in this country. I think now we have to just take it to the next level to make it happen. Thank you so much, Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar.
Sir, if you permit, I just want to add one point.
Yeah, sure.
One point. See, the current size, because see, I'm a businessman, I'm a baniya, okay? So if I give 1 rupee, I will take 20 rupees, that's my nature. But I want to tell you one thing. This entire business of education and skilling is in 500 million. Using these advanced technologies, we can take it to the 10 trillion. But who is going to get benefit out of it? You. Because you are the owner of the institutes. I think you need to little fine-tune your models. I'm telling you, see, you always need to think like a baniya, which is very, very important because you are doing business, you are not doing a charity here. And which we understand. And we want to encourage because the minute you grow, you will employ a fellow Indian, right? That is a benefit for government of India. So this is a kind of a model I think we all need to work together. So the 10 trillion only on the education system, if we all work together as a team, along with this APAC News, I mean what a wonderful conferences they are doing, lot of other things also which I came to know. I think we all need to work together. And any kind of a model, feel free to come to us. I mean, I don't charge anything, even though I'm a baniya, but still I don't charge. Please feel to come to us. We will give different models, because the cities has a different kind of a business model. The mid-tier, tier 2, tier 3 has a different models. Tribal areas has a different model. So let us come up with a different working models and a profitable models where the return of investment is more than 30%. I think this is where we need to focus and work. I thank for this giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that was a perspective from AICTE.